Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have another top 5 video for you guys, and on today's top 5, we're going to be looking at the top 5 missions that people tend to fail more than they pass. These are missions where if you've ever played them, you have failed these oftentimes more than you have passed them. I can't speak for everybody, but for myself personally, I have failed these missions more than I have passed. And I've talked to a bunch of other people as well who have told me that they have failed these missions more than they have passed them. And on this list, we're not specifically looking at hard missions, but missions that people just tend to fail a lot. Some of these missions are actually easy, but people do fail them. And we're going to be covering the reasons on why people fail them. Some of the reasons are actually obvious. Some of the other reasons are a little bit more complicated. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. And also, we're going to be looking at incomplete missions. So if somebody does not complete a mission fully, you only complete the majority of the objectives, but you mess up with one of the objectives, I will be counting that as a fail for this video. If the mission is incomplete, not all objectives are completed, I will personally count that as a fail. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Top 5 missions that people fail more than they pass. So starting off here, I want to thank Gaming Cupcake, Richard DB, Rob is not a cat, FX Carlitos, Screwstorm, Timmy95, and Casey Girl for helping me to record this video. Thank you guys for helping with these missions. So the first mission that we have here is we have Asset Recovery, and this is a VIP work. And you guys might remember I mentioned Asset Recovery in my video, which was top 10 worst missions in GT Online. Asset Recovery is one of the worst missions in the game, but here specifically, we're looking at the Paleto Bay Asset Recovery. So basically, you start up Asset Recovery, you choose the Paleto Bay Police Station. Now, we're going to be doing these missions with a full team. Solo, it's easier, but with a full team, this mission is the failure rate increases by a lot, and the failure rate actually decreased. Probably a good amount because this mission has actually been updated, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So you go up to Paleto Bay, and chances are most people are not going to be anywhere near Paleto Bay when you start up this mission, so that's probably going to take them a few minutes to get up there. When you're up there, you're doing this with a full CEO, you have 4 bikes to steal, and the second that one person gets on the bike, everybody automatically gets a 3-star wanted level, and chances are most people are not going to wait for the rest of the team. They're just going to get on one, so then everybody else is going to have a 3-star wanted level when they're coming up there. And you have to make almost a 7-mile drive. Almost a 7-mile drive all the way to the city. And some people might think, oh, it's not that bad, just call Lester and get rid of them, make the drive, right? Well, in this mission, you actually can't call Lester. And what sucks is because you're on this motorcycle, you can crash easy. So you're going to be basically constantly swerving. For those next 7 miles, you are constantly going to be swerving in and out of lanes to avoid crashing into cops. And the second that you crash into a cop and you fall, you're almost always dead because they surround you, and when they surround you, they shoot you and they kill you. My friend actually crashed in this. I crashed in this as well. So it can be a major issue when you're trying to get across the map. And this mission, I don't even recommend doing it. It's kind of a crappy mission also. So you see right here, you crash in the bike, you get up, you try to fight off some of the cops, you try to get back on the bike, and they shoot you. But this mission actually used to be much worse, because in the past what would happen is the SWAT or the noose, they would constantly keep grouping up around the bike, so there'd be so many of them. And this mission, I'm pretty sure that it got patched, because I don't really see it happening anymore. The cops, they'll still be around the bike, but there won't be as many around it. I've noticed that because there used to be a huge amount of cops near this bike. So you're constantly going to be crashing. Somebody could actually get one of the bikes destroyed because they would constantly keep crashing, constantly get shot by the cops, and this mission took us 12 minutes to complete, and we had everybody at Paleto Bay at the start of this mission. So this mission, whenever you do it with a full CEO, you almost always have one bike that isn't delivered, and I don't recommend doing this mission at all. It just sucks, and the pay is also pretty bad. If 4 bikes delivered for that massive of a drive, you only get $25,000, so it's just not worth it. The huge distance that you gotta drive, and the amount of cops that you can constantly crash into. The failure rate is pretty high in this mission, but it used to be high in the past with the higher number of cops that you had to deal with. Next up, we have the MC Contract Weapon of Choice. Now, some people might argue with me that this mission is very easy to pass. And, you know, I agree. Generally, it's pretty easy. But try doing this mission with 8 people. There's a very big difference of doing this mission with 8 people versus doing it with 4 people or even with 2 people. Now, with 8 people, this mission is actually much harder than doing it with less people. And you do get more money. You get more money for doing it with more people, so there is a plus in that. Now, when you do it with more people, the more targets you get. So if you do it with the max 8 people, you're going to have 8 targets. And basically, Weapon of Choice, you have to take out 8 targets around the map. And those 8 targets that you have to take out, you have to kill them in a certain way. So each player has a specific target that they have to kill, and when you kill that target, you get marked another target that another player has. Now, you have to kill the target the way that the game tells you to. At the bottom of the screen, once you get to the area, it'll tell you how you have to kill the target. Like in this first area I have is LSIA. Now I have to kill a target with a sniper rifle. The weapon that you have to kill the target with is almost always there. So you will see it on the map, that weapon is there. The problem is that this mission, whenever you do it with 8 people, you almost always have one person that messes up. One person almost always does not kill the target the right way, and that messes everyone else up. Because then what happens is the pay in the mission gets cut by around 40%. So you lose 40% pay around for not killing one target the right way. You can kill the targets, but you're supposed to kill them the right way, so you get the bonus. When you don't, it messes everyone else up. And there's very different ways to kill the targets. There is, at LSIA, you kill the target with a sniper rifle, you kill the target with a golf club at the golf course, you kill the target with a baseball bat. At ULSA, you kill the target with a double-barreled shotgun at the inn in Sandy Shores, you kill a target with a battle axe in the forests near Sandy Shores. So there is all these different targets that you kill, but the target that I've noticed the most amount of people tend to mess up on is the bus target. They tend to mess that one up. And oftentimes, when I ask the person in my MC, why you didn't kill the target that way, I either hear one of two responses. The first response that I tend to hear from people is they tend to tell me that, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't know that you had to kill the target a certain way, but, at the bottom of the screen, it says, you're supposed to kill the target this way. It'll say how you have to kill the target. Like, do people not read that part? And also, I'll hear from people they'll say, I don't have the weapon on me, so I just kill the target. But the weapon is almost always near the target. And, the first time that somebody plays this mission, I could understand it, maybe the first or second time. But if you do this mission multiple times, there really shouldn't be a reason that you fail. But whenever you do this mission with randoms, especially randoms, you're almost always going to have one person that just does not kill the target the right way. The bus one, people mess that one up the most. They don't kill the target with the bus. And I've had people tell me, oh, I don't know where the bus is, but the target spawns right next to the bus depot. You just get the bus and you just run over the target. But like I said, almost always somebody does not kill the target the right way, and because of that, it cuts everybody's pay. And this can be very frustrating when you get 7 out of 8 targets the right way, but then the 8th target, somebody messes up on it. It can just be very frustrating. At number 3, we have another MC contract, which is Outrider. Now, Outrider can be easy if you do it with just a few people, but if you're doing it with 8 people like I am here, chances are you don't get all the contacts there alive. You might get the majority of the contacts alive, but you're almost always going to have it one fatality. And even if you have the best motorcycle drivers, it's very rare that this mission is going to be completed fully. And me and my team here, my MC, we tried our best to get the contacts there alive, and we actually had 2 fatalities. One of my targets died, and one of my friend's targets died. So what you basically got to do in this mission is you got to go pick up the contacts. Now, there's one in Sandy Shores that's a little bit easier, but the one in the city, that is actually the one that's actually much more challenging. So you go to this area, and you have to pick up the contacts and basically take them as taxi service to the docks. They will not get into any kind of air vehicle. They will not get into any kind of car. You have to take them by motorcycle. You can spawn your own motorcycle or get the motorcycles at the area. When you take them across the city, you have to avoid the NPC traffic in this game. I don't think I even have to talk really about the NPC traffic. You guys know how bad it is. And all it takes is just one stupid driver to crash into you, and your contact will die, and your pay will get cut. And on top of that, you also have hostile NPCs on motorcycles that chase you. And even if they don't shoot you, they are probably going to shoot the target in the back when they're chasing you, so they can either shoot the target off your bike, or they can shoot in the area. The NPCs will get scared, and the NPC cars will crash into you. I mean, just look at this. Look at how badly I crashed here because of the NPC traffic. So we lost 2 targets. We still got the majority of them there, but like I said, I have very rarely completed this mission where we delivered all contacts there. It almost never happens. You almost always lose one contact along the way because of just the fact that you got to take them on the bike, and you can crash so easily. Moving on to number 2, we have time trials and also RC time trials. Now, time trials were first added into GTA Online years ago with the free mode events update, and what a time trial basically is this purple clock symbol on the map, stopwatch, that you go to, and you basically have to race to the destination. And you can use most vehicles. You cannot use air vehicles, and you can't use certain special vehicles. You can use cars or motorcycles, and if you get there before the timer runs out, you actually get $100,000. But these time trials are actually set up for you to actually fail as much as possible, but I actually do like the challenge, and it's actually very, very difficult at times to get there, and it's a combination of luck and skill, I would say, at least in my opinion. I think there's more skill involved than luck, but one small little accident, or even, slowing down just for a few seconds will oftentimes cost you the time trial. And whenever you get to the destination, you get to the end of the time trial, you're almost always a few seconds late or a few seconds early. You never have like a big gap. So you can see in this case, I was actually a 1 second basically off. I managed to pass it, I got my $100,000 reward, but this is what happens with time trials. You're often very, very close, and I was kind of lucky that I got here. This was my first attempt at it, but face it, when we do time trials, most of us, we fail time trials much more than we pass them. And as for RC time trials, these were actually added last August. RC time trials, in my opinion, they're even harder than regular time trials, because with regular time trials, you can use a custom vehicle of your choice. You're limited to certain custom vehicles, but you have custom vehicles that you can pick from. The RC ones, the RC cars, I actually thought these would be easy at first, but they're not, because the RC cars can actually hook onto things very easily, and I was actually trying my best here. I did hook onto a few things, and I lost by over 10 seconds in this race, so the RC ones are pretty challenging. My friend Saucercats on his channel, he has a guide on almost all the time trials on how to get to them the fastest way possible, so there is skill involved in them, and you can get pretty good at them when you keep doing them a lot, but most of us, like I said, we fail these much more than we pass them. And number one, the number one mission that the most amount of people have failed in GT Online, they failed much more than they've passed, in my opinion, is Deliver EMP. And I bet that when you started watching this video, you probably thought that Deliver EMP was going to be number one. And you are 100% right on that. Deliver EMP, this mission, oh man. And this is gameplay from 2 years ago when I was doing this with a live stream with my friends, and we had some issues on this mission. This mission took us numerous tries just to get through. I failed this mission probably hundreds of times. I failed this mission more than any other mission in the game. And this mission is not just the most failed mission in GT Online, but it's also the number one mission in my video from over a year ago, which was top 7 worst missions to do with randoms. This mission is also the worst mission to do with randoms. So what is this mission, and why is this mission so failed? Deliver EMP is a setup mission for the Humane Labs, where you gotta take the Insurgent and you gotta get into Humane Labs. And you have to sneak past a few enemies, but the majority of them, you have to kill them. And you have to kill one guy at the gate, you gotta kill one guy in the parking lot behind him, you gotta kill one guy in the balcony on the right side, you gotta watch out for the Insurgent that's leaving the compound, you gotta kill 2 soldiers near an Insurgent, you gotta kill 2 scientists near cages, you gotta kill 2 scientists in an alley, 1 guy near a box in the back, 1 guy in a box towards the garage, and then you gotta kill 1 guy in the catwalk all the way at the back, and then a scientist and a soldier at the garage where you gotta bring the Insurgent in. And what's so bad about this mission is that the enemies are just so unforgiving. If they spot you for even a second, the alarm goes off and all the enemies know that you are there, and you fail, and you gotta start all the way at the gate, you gotta run down the hill, and just repeat and rinse, and you gotta keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. This mission requires absolute coordination. You have to be coordinating with your team. If you're not coordinating with your team, this mission is going to be a disaster. And that's why it's also the worst mission in the game to do with randoms. And on this, I remember this. From 2 years ago here, I was talking to my friends through the stream. They were watching me on the stream. We weren't in a party together, and I guess that was my mistake. We should have been in a party. But then we got into a party later on, and we managed to complete the mission, no problem. But this just shows how ridiculous this mission is to fail. Sometimes you fail this mission for things that aren't even your fault. The enemies will see you at ridiculous distances. They'll see you all the way across. They'll see you all the way across the compound. I don't even know how they have perfect vision like that, where I can barely see them, but they can see me perfectly. And sometimes they'll see a dead body when there's not even a dead body anywhere near them. So it's just ridiculous. You get spotted for even a second and you automatically fail. This mission has been restarted so many times, and oftentimes people quit in this mission because they don't feel like doing it after so many fails. And that is number one for top 5 missions that people fail more than they pass. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Let me know down below, are there any other missions that I might have missed? If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, you might subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.